This is Land of Havilah, Job 18. Bildad spoke in chapter 8, and now he'll speak for a second time. Verse 1. Then Bildad the Shuhite answered, How long will you hunt for words? Consider, and afterwards we will speak. Why are we counted as animals which have become unclean in your sight? You who tear yourself in anger, shall the earth be forsaken for you, or shall the rock be removed out of its place? Comment in verses 2 and 3, naturally Bildad is offended that Job just called him, Eliphaz, and Zophar mockers, provocateurs, without understanding, miserable comforters, godless, vain, self-serving, and so on. In verse 3, Bildad says Job's characterizations of them are more like descriptions of animals. In verse 4, why does Job tear himself in anger? Meaning, why does he insist on making himself worse with his attitude? According to Bildad, Job's railing against the universe as if he expects the earth and rocks to do what he says. Coming up, Bildad assures Job, as he did in chapter 8, that the wicked man will come to ruin. Most of it's easy to understand. Verse 5. Yes, the light of the wicked shall be put out, the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tent, his lamp above him shall be put out. The steps of his strength shall be shortened, his own counsel shall cast him down. For he's cast into a net by his own feet, and he wanders into its mesh. A snare will take him by the heel, a trap will catch him, a noose is hidden for him in the ground, a trap for him on the path. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall chase him at his heels. His strength shall be famished, calamity shall be ready at his side. The members of his body shall be devoured. The firstborn of death shall devour his members. He shall be rooted out of the security of his tent. He shall be brought to the king of terrors. There shall dwell in his tent that which is none of his. Sulfur shall be scattered on his habitation. His root shall be dried up beneath. Above shall his branch be cut off. His memory shall perish from the earth. He shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He shall have neither son nor grandson among his people, nor any remaining where he lived. Those who come after shall be astonished at his day, as those who went before were frightened. Surely such are the dwellings of the unrighteous. This is the place of him who doesn't know God. Comment in verse 7, the wicked man's own counsel shall cast him down, meaning he advises himself very poorly. His own counsel ruins him. In verses 8 to 10, the wicked man steps into nets, traps, a snare, and a noose. In verse 16, the wicked man's roots below will dry up, and branches above cut off. In verse 20, those who live during and after the wicked man's day will be astonished and frightened by seeing what happens to him or by hearing about it after the fact. And in verse 21, the final insult to Job, that all these calamities are the place of him or the fate of him who doesn't know God, according to Bildad the Shuhite. And by the way, to our listeners, just so you're familiar with an old joke, don't say that Nehemiah is the shortest man in the Bible. It's Bildad the Shuhite. Job will answer in Job 19 next.